Okay. Hello, everyone. I am going to get us started because we only have 30 minutes today. Welcome to the latest All Demo No Pitch from Elastic Path. Today, we're going to be covering our catalog composer capability. My name is Hannah Jarrett. If you've been on one of these before, you probably recognize me. I lead up our product marketing here at Elastic Path. And if you're curious about All Demo No Pitch, we do them pretty regularly. So check out our demo library on our website and you can see past versions and explore all different types of demos. A few housekeeping things before we get kicked off. You'll see that this session is being recorded. We send it out today or tomorrow so you can rewatch, share with anyone internally who might like to see it. You're all muted because we have a short period of time. We want to eliminate kind of any time disturbances. So please ask questions via the Q&A. You should see it in the bottom of your screen, and we leave time at the end to get to any of those questions that pop up. If we don't get to anything, we'll respond to you with an email and really solve any questions or kind of final thoughts you may have. So now on to the good stuff. So this session is going to be a demo of our new catalog composer capability. So why did we build this? A little bit of an intro. The fact of the matter is catalog management in the industry's commerce solutions is dated and rigid. It was built 10 to 15 years ago before brands had multiple routes to market across B2B accounts, across multiple business models, geos, touch points, etc. And we find that even modern commerce platforms still struggle to keep up with the needs of brands who need to create unlimited or multiple unique catalogs. Even these modern applications are rigid, or you have to customize them or pay extra money for additional instances to support unique needs. That's exactly why we launched Catalog Composer. So Catalog Composer is built on the industry's only decoupled catalog architecture that we announced previously with our product content management capability. And that just means that products, catalogs, price books, and hierarchies, or how you organize products, are all separate, making it fast, easy, and flexible for you to create the unlimited catalogs you need for your unique business. So whether you need B2B specific catalogs, catalogs for a pop-up shop, or you want to launch a new brand with a subset of products, you can do that easily with Catalog Composer. All right, so now that I've set us up, I'm going to hand it over to Julie Mall, who is our Director of Solutions Engineering, and she'll take us through our demo today.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Super excited to share Catalog Composer with everyone today. And this is my first demo no pitch, so excited to go through this process with everyone. And the way I want to walk through Catalog Composer is first from an experience standpoint, right? The whole idea behind Catalog Composer is that we can power multiple unique product experiences across any touch point for any organization. So I wanted to start with some of those experiences, and then we'll take a look behind the scenes and see how quick and easy it is to set those up. Right, so you can see in this demo window that I have set up, I've got 4 tabs that contain kind of customer experiences for our company Belvie, who sells high-end kitchen appliances. Right, so I have my Belvie consumer site, which is their direct-to-consumer storefront for folks like me. You know, I'm upgrading my kitchen. I need to buy some new great appliances. But Belvie also has B2B customers, right? So they sell to large organizations, one of which is Home Goods. And Home Goods, you know, in this context, maybe they're setting up a new office building and they need to outfit that office building with some great kitchen appliances, right? So from a procurement standpoint, we're going to see essentially the same storefront. It's just going to be in a different context for Home Goods procurement. And then, of course, Home Goods has a repairs department. They're not tasked with buying $2,100 espresso machines, but this group is tasked with repairing them. And then lastly, we have this microsite. So Belvie, as an organization, wanted to run an experiment around a differentiated experience just around their coffee products, their high-end coffee products. And so let's take a look at these different experiences and kind of walk through how we can set those up, right? So as a consumer, I've purchased from Belvy in the past. I'm just going to quickly log in, right, as Julie Mall. And I've had my eye on this particular sous vide machine here that I'm going to take a look at. This poacher, we can see, I want to just highlight, the price, $237 is the retail pricing for consumers like me. And you can see I've logged in, so that gives me access to previous carts I've saved, and you can see actually Monday is my mom's birthday. And I'm also working on outfitting my new kitchen. So I'm going to actually get this sous vide machine for my new kitchen, right? So I'm managing multiple carts across this process, and we're going to come back to that in a minute. I'm just going to leave that here, right? So we've got the poacher, I've added it to my cart, and now I'm going to put on my home goods hat, right? So we talked about different B2B experiences. In this context, as procurement, when I log in, you can see now I'm logging in. It's the same site, right? The same URL as my consumer site. It's not a different storefront at all. But once I log in as procurement, we're going to get a different experience. And in this case, the experience is going to be around pricing, right? So procurement for home goods is going to have access to the broad catalog that Belvy provides, right? So that same sous vide machine that I bought as the consumer is available to home goods procurement, but they're getting their differentiated pricing, right? Their contract pricing that they have with Belvy. So just wanted to highlight that from a B2B perspective. In this case, we're just differentiating pricing, same products. Conversely, if I come to home goods repairs, again, same storefront that we saw from a consumer standpoint, from the procurement standpoint, but now I'm going to log in with a different context, which is my repairs context, right? So as I said, the repairs person at home goods doesn't necessarily need to purchase a really expensive espresso machine, but they do need access to accessories and parts to support their job in terms of repairing those. Right, so in this case, we're giving them a differentiated catalog experience alongside their B2B pricing. And so, I talked about that microsite that Belvy was experimenting with, right? They wanted to create an experience just around some of their great coffee products. So in this case, we do have a completely different site, and we have products that are just around coffee and espresso, right? So kind of a more narrow experience focused on coffee. And actually my mom needs a coffee pot. I want to get one for my new kitchen. So, if I just click on espresso machines, and actually I'm going to log in because I remembered, I wonder if my Belvy site login works here as well. And we can see it does. And you can see when I logged on, I have an item in my cart. And basically what's happening, remember my new kitchen cart that I started in the Belvy consumer site, because we're one platform, one instance of the platform, and one instance of product data, I can actually create a multi-site experience, but have a unified checkout, right? So Julie Mall, the consumer, exists in the platform, so I can have this continuous experience across all the Belvy brands, right? So I'm gonna look at espresso machines. I can see the different products that we have here. And again, even my carts come across from the other site because it's tied to my profile. And I'm going to add this to my new kitchen cart as well. And now you can see I've got two products from two different catalogs on two different sites that I can check out with one experience, right? A really unique component to the Elastic Path solution that really is powered by this flexible catalog structure. So with that backdrop, let's talk a little bit about how we actually set that up, right? So now I've kind of put on my commerce management hat. And what you see here is Commerce Manager, which is the back office administration console to manage a whole host of things. But in this case, we're going to focus on the catalog, right? And so with Catalog Composer, as Hannah said at the start, we've decoupled all the different components that typically you see all together in one in terms of traditional platforms. We have all of our products, right? You can aggregate product data from anywhere. If I click on one of these products, you can see that you can maintain different product attributes. You can assign product templates, which are collections of attributes specific to certain product types, right? So in this case, I've got my kitchen appliances template, and you can see the two attributes that we're maintaining here are just capacity, right? This is my 10-quart mixer, and these are the included attachments. But here now you can actually see which price books are associated to this product, right? So this allows you now the flexibility to say, well, this product belongs to our Belvie base UK price book, which powers Belvie Consumer, our discounted price book, which powers our B2B experience, and so on and so forth. There's real flexibility here because now you can do differentiated pricing for things like loyalty programs, all different B2B customers, and so on, as well as volume pricing, sale pricing, etc. And then, of course, media management. So all of your product data lives within the platform, one instance of the product. And when I click configurations, now this is where we go in and manage those hierarchies that Hannah was talking about, right? Essentially your categories in a collection of categories, right? So when I click on my main UK store hierarchy, these are the nodes or categories that belong to this hierarchy. So this is exactly what we saw in Belvie Consumer, right? So here are my products, and Belvie B2B, right? The home goods procurement, same set of categories. All just assigned here. You can have any number of child nodes, and within, any node assign the products that you want. So, common use case might be, the ability to have a sale hierarchy where you might drop certain SKUs that are going to be on sale. You're not taking them out of their original hierarchy because you want your customers to be able to find them the traditional way, but also, let's say, through the sale hierarchy. So the three hierarchies that supported the experiences that I showed earlier, again, the main UK store, we have home goods repairs, which was accessories and parts, if you recall, and then the sub-brand store, which was our kind of coffee-centric experience that just had coffee and espresso, right? Super easy to go in and create new hierarchies. Simply go in, add hierarchy, give it a name, and then you just create the nodes that you want for that particular experience. Now, where does the composability come into play, right? This is now, when I click catalogs, that ability to say, I want to take this selection of products in this hierarchy, pair it with this pricing model, and deliver it to a certain context, a channel, a set of customers, anything that you can think of, right? So for my Belvie main UK catalog, you can see it's as simple as saying, this is the name of my catalog, which price book am I going to assign to this catalog, and which hierarchy or set of hierarchies do you want to assign to this catalog, right? So which pricing, which selection of products, and then you publish. And it's as easy as that. Now, how do I make sure that, repairs gets a different set of products than procurement, right? We saw those different hierarchies, and that comes in through the rules layer. And it's, again, it's decoupled from everything else, but it then allows me to say, for instance, for my procurement context, take my procurement catalog, which was the set of all of those hierarchies that we saw before, coupled with our discounted pricing, and assign it to this customer or, a set of customers. You can upload customers, make it really easy, but we're just saying when procurement logs on, this is the catalog that they need to see. Similarly, for our Belvie coffee sub-brand, we're saying, let's look for a tag on the site. So in the configuration file for our microsite, it's tagged as sub-brand. So when that particular site is launched, it pulls this catalog from the same instance of the platform, same set of products that every other one of these sites is leveraging. So you can see how quick and efficient it is to go in, manage all your product data centrally, assign any number of price books with any kind of differentiated pricing that you need, and then again, create different product assortments. And again, you can see we've got all sorts of context here. You might have a loyalty assortment. You might have channels for syndication, right? So if you sell your products through Amazon or Wayfair or any other external channel, this is a great way to very quickly go in, get your product information, pair it with pricing, and then you can use a syndication engine to easily communicate that product data to any external channel that you have. And what that means is anytime I come to change a product, right? Whether it's a product update, I want to change a price, any kind of data, you change it one time and it will automatically get propagated and communicated to any catalog that holds that product. So what that means is you're creating consistent product experiences across all your touch points, B2B, B2C, microsites, anything that holds that product. You can ensure that that data is consistent across all channels. So we went through that pretty quickly, I think. Want to see maybe, Hannah, if there are any questions. We can drill into anything from a demo standpoint as needed, but happy to open it up for questions.
Yes, absolutely. So as a reminder, actually, I should say, first of all, thank you, Julie. And as a reminder to everyone on the line, you can ask your questions using the Q&A button. So please feel free to do that. We do have a few that have come through, and I'll start with those, and then as more come through, we can ask them. Okay, so the first one here is actually something we get, I know, Julie, you probably get asked a lot, but how is this different than other catalog management out there? I assume in other vendors is what they mean.
Sure, and that's a great question. And I have had the privilege to work with a variety of other commerce platforms in different contexts throughout my career. And irrespective of which platform it's been, they've always kind of been managed the exact same way, which is define your catalog structure first, right? This is my catalog. It's going to be tied to this experience, site, whatever it is. Go in, define all of your categories, and then you're going to move product data into those categories. And then if you need another catalog to support a different experience, but there's shared product data, you kind of have to go through that process again. Create the catalog, set up the structure, move product data into it. And so now I've got product data replicated in different catalogs. So in that case, it's two instances of the product, where in the context of ElasticPath, it's always just one instance of the product that can get shared across innumerable catalogs. And so what that means from a kind of a time to market standpoint, it's way faster to create a differentiated experience, for instance, like Belvy Coffee. There's no data replication. I don't have to go to IT and say, well, we want to just take a segment of this catalog and share it here. And okay, I've got to create some code to replicate that data. You can see how easy it is. I'm just going to go create the nodes, put some product data into it, and ship it off to where it needs to go. So that kind of level of flexibility without any type of programming or code or support from IT, I think, is one of the key differentiators for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know one of the other things we talk about is more on the consumer side, or the our customers and a consistent experience across however they might be interacting with the product. So ensuring that product data is updated across any type of experience that they might be interacting with, even if in the back end, we know that there are different catalogs powering those experiences. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. We have another one here. Okay, to summarize this, I think this person is asking about PIM. So what if they have a PIM? Can this be a PIM? Can you talk a little bit about the role of PIM?
Sure. So, PIM is really, it stands for Product Information Management, right? And generally, PIM solutions are used to control product information across the enterprise. It might be where you initiate product development, and there's typically a lot of workflow involved to make sure data meets any kind of data standards you have, and so on. In our context, PIM is typically a feeder into our solution, right? So at the very start, I talked about data aggregation, the ability to pull in product information from a variety of sources, which is typical, I think, in most commerce environments where you're going to whether it's the ERP, whether it's your PIM solution, you want to pull all of that data in centrally into your commerce solution so that you can then share it as necessary and enhance it as necessary for the purposes of commerce. So typically we don't replace a PIM. We're pretty commerce centric from a product content standpoint. And are a recipient of PIM data, as it were.
I think that makes sense. If that person has any follow-ups, feel free to ask them in the Q&A. I do have another one coming through here. We get this question. Is this connected to inventory, or how does this work with inventory and stock?
Great question. So, I think of inventories as, and, stock levels, however you want to think about it, as attributes for the product, right? So, any time an inventory is changed in maybe it's in your ERP or in your warehouse management, that can automatically update the data at the product level, right? So you can have an attribute to hold inventory position essentially at the product level so that we can receive those inventory updates on whatever schedule that you want from your downstream system. And that becomes an important part of the commerce experience, right? And it's something that we work with customers all the time in supporting, because you might want to propagate that product data that you saw from a catalog into search. And you might want to optimize search for high inventory versus low inventory. So we can definitely hold inventory values. Every integration within Elastic Path is from an event-based architecture. So as events fire in your ERP, we can pick those up and create the the update within Elastic Path.
Great. I think that answers that as well. Please follow up if you have any other questions on that topic and we can answer them. The other one that I see coming through here, which I believe I can answer, is there a limit to the number of catalogs you can create? And so I think the short answer is no. Julie, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
No, there's no technical limit at all in terms of the number of catalogs you can manage, the number of hierarchies and nodes within those catalogs. It's my guidance is always build with the end in mind. What is the business use case that you're starting with, and take it from there. But from a technical standpoint, no limitations.
Great. And I know we have run into other vendors in the market that do have a limit on hierarchies, which can make it a little bit tough if you do want to create a subset of products like Julie showed in the demo and have them run off the same kind of single product data management. So that is something to look out for as you're evaluating other solutions. Okay, all of the questions that have come through, we have answered. I'll give it another minute. If folks have any other question or there's anything else we can drill into in the demo, I'll give you a minute to ask those. And otherwise, I think we're good.
Thanks. And, while folks are ruminating on that, I'll just add, for the demo, of course, I'm going to show the Commerce Manager and how, business user can go through and create their catalogs, hierarchies, products, etc. But remember, we're an API first platform. So everything that you saw that I did from a Commerce Manager standpoint is accessible through the API, right? So it can be done kind of automagically, if you will, through the API. You don't necessarily have to go in and, do every catalog creation exercise by hand. So.
Makes sense. Okay. Well, I don't see any more questions coming through. I'll say to folks, part of Julie's role is when we have prospects come through who want to learn more about this technology and our broader solution, is to create more personalized demos. So if that is you, if you are looking for a commerce solution, please reach out and our whole team would be happy to dive into Catalog Composer and product content management in more detail. But otherwise, thank you, Julie, for demoing today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will send out the recording and I hope you all have a nice day. All right. Bye-bye.